Hey, hey, it's me. Woo. Hey guys, it's Eliza Marie. It's been half a year since I've asked you guys to send in some questions on my Instagram, and I'm only answering them now. There's a reasonable explanation for that, and that is because I'm human and I forget things. Let's go! Let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy. So the first question is, how do you cope with online class stress? Well, it's not easy, that's for sure. The best thing to do and the best thing that's helped me was time management. Still working on it, but if you manage your time very well and you set aside certain amounts of times for certain tasks, then your stress levels will go down by a lot. I don't know, if you have free time, just enjoy your free time. If you use that free time to just be on your phone and do whatever, then I think you should do that. But anyway, yeah, just the main thing that helped me was just trying to block my time, if that's what it's called. So that. When is your next album? Well, I don't know for sure, but I do have songs ready. I actually have a lot of songs in the works, even just like simple ideas for them, or like one lyric. Yeah, so, wait, I didn't answer the question. That was, what am I saying? Maybe next year. Maybe not maybe, but next year, so. Why are you so pretty? Literally coming from you. Stop. Also because I drink a lot of water. So this next question is, was it more difficult to find your own sound or find your own voice? That's a very interesting question. Honestly, I think sound. Because if you were to hear my first album and then compare it to my EP, they're obviously very different, or at least they're very different to me. And it's just because I'm like experimenting with different types of sounds and different types of like, you know, instrumentals. I don't know whether I want to like go into like the whole hyper pop type music or something that would sound like Kurt Vile. Like, they're just two ends of the spectrum. But I think at the same time it's kind of like, you know, you don't really have to be in a certain box and label yourself as like one genre. But I think that's why it's a bit difficult to find my own sound, because I don't know what I want. Will you live in the Philippines or overseas after college? Right after college, I was planning to move like right away to America, but I realized that I think I have to just wait a little bit, and maybe after like 6 months or so, then I could live in America. And yeah, so yeah, I plan on like working in the States. So this next question is, do you start making the lyrics or the music? For me, I've been asked this a lot, and honestly, I think it changes every time people ask me because I don't remember what I answer with. Honestly, it just depends. Sometimes there are days where a lyric pops up in my head and I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Let's try to try to put instrumentals to it, right? Other times I would just play around with like different chord progressions and I put music on them. Honestly, just depends. So yeah. Also, I miss you and Carmela so much. I miss you, girl. Stop. You're making me emotional. Just kidding. She's living her best life. I don't know. I love you, Carmela. Skincare routine or your go-to sunscreen? So I wear makeup a lot, or most days. So when I take it off, I use this micellar water. And I used to use makeup wipes, but I heard that it can get really bad for your skin, and my skin is very sensitive, so I break out a lot. So for the next step, I wash my face. Honestly, my face washes change every single time. It's usually just whatever my mom buys me at the store. So right now I'm using this Garnier Light Complete brightening foam, but yeah, I change them a lot, but I should definitely try to find something that fits my skin type, but this is what I use. So for my moisturizer, I've been using this Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA, and it's really, really good. I love the Ordinary. I just ran out, so I'm not using this anymore. Instead, I'm using this one that my mom got me. It's always from my mom. Biotin Multi Collagen. Gotta get that collagen now that I'm in my 20s, right? Wrong. And then sometimes when I'm feeling fancy, I put on a face mask. I've been using a lot of the sheet masks almost every day, but not always. But if I want to go ahead and use a stronger mask, I use this Ordinary peeling solution. It's the AHA 30% plus BHA 2%. And then, so the thing is, I put on a light serum first from my sheet mask when I use a sheet mask. After that, I use this Gran Active Retinoid 2% emulsion by The Ordinary, but I don't always use this, but this goes on before my moisturizer. So I hope that made sense, and I hope I was clear. So this question kind of like is a bit late to answer. Obviously, it's been half a year. My flight was, I remember it. If you don't know me, freak out so bad during turbulence. It could be the slightest bump. I would freak out and start to get really religious. All I had to do was just like go through it, so it was kind of scary. Probably like objectively people would say it wasn't that bad, but because I'm a little bit sensitive to turbulence, it wasn't that good for me. What can you advise to people who are unmotivated right now? Don't beat yourself up for being unmotivated. It's okay. Do you hear that dog outside? It always barks, and sometimes it gets in my songs and it gets so annoying. I'm so sorry. I love dogs anyway. Just ignore that. Anyway, to go back to the question, yeah, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty for being unmotivated, because honestly, with the society we live in right now, hustle culture is so real, and like having to do things really puts a lot of stress on you. We get motivated sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to be unmotivated. It's okay to just do nothing at all now. So just rest for a little bit if you can, if you have the time, and then go do what you have to do. There's this quote that I've heard. It's action creates motivation, not the other way around. Even though you don't feel like doing it, try to overrule your emotions with logic, and then the motivation will come. So I hope that helped. Also, by the way, I keep looking over on this side because I'm using my phone, and I keep forgetting to look in the camera. Next one is favorite song off my album. I'm assuming it was All My Angels at the time. Probably I Wonder. I Wonder is my favorite. So I Wonder is my favorite, and that is because just super indie pop. It's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. Favorite lyric from your songs? I think, okay, so now that California Time has come out, it's my EP, by the way, shameless promo, go listen to it, go stream it. Probably it's any lyric from Records on the Floor. Sometimes dreams lie and your smile dies, but God bless you, you're still alive.
Sometimes dreams lie and your smile dies, but God bless you, you're still alive.
And yeah, that one was like my favorite lyric for a long time, and I think it still is, honestly. What does a typical day for you look like? So by the time that you ask this, I was in California, and a typical day for me was just bringing my sister to work, and then when I had her car, I would just drive to like different places to explore the area, also to just buy things. I don't know. So I would buy books, I would buy makeup and stuff, yeah. Or I would go to Quarry Lakes and just enjoy nature because the scenery there was so perfect. Here in the Philippines, however, a typical day recently has just been waking up, going to classes, or just honestly not much. I just make my coffee, I drink my water, I watch YouTube a lot. Yeah, just hang out with my family. Sometimes I go out. Now since we're on break and it's the holidays, I've just been inside just being with family and enjoying our bonding time. What is one thing that makes you feel free? Travel, probably. Like honestly, I'm so Sagittarius, the stars align, don't they? God, it just makes me feel like, I can go anywhere and explore different places that I haven't been to, and it's like this was here for so long. Like that mountain was there for like years, and I don't know why, I just feel so like free to be in this place. That doesn't make sense at all. Hey, editing Elisa here. Honestly, I think what I was trying to say was that travel makes me feel free because I feel like there are not many limitations, especially if you are spontaneous and you really don't have a set plan. But even if you do, I think it's still so much fun that when you're traveling, usually you're going to a place that you've never been, or even if you're going to a place that you've never been. See, I don't know how to make coherent sentences, obviously. Yeah, travel makes me feel free. I guess I don't need a beauty pageant answer for that. It's just travel. There you go. Not a question, but I love you. Please say my name. I love you too. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Bjorn A.L. A.L. No, is that not? I hope that's right. Why are you so pretty? So that's the second time someone asked me that. Stop it. It's coming from really gorgeous people. Thank you though for the compliment. Big kiss for you virtually. Tell us those instruments that you can play. Good thing it wasn't that you can play very well, because I actually know how to play quite a few instruments, but never really became a professional at them. But basically, chronologically, I went to piano lessons actually around the age 8, I'd like to say, 8 or 9. I learned that. I think it was for a few months up to a year that I learned it, and I still play the piano. Not a professional and no expert, but I do love it. And the next instrument is the violin. For some reason, I just was like, yeah, why don't I just learn how to play the violin? And so I went to lessons for violin. It didn't last too long. I broke one of the strings on my violin and I stopped playing it, but I do know the placement of your fingers on the violin. And then when I was in middle school, so 6th grade, I decided to join band and I decided to play percussion. So I ended up learning how to play the xylophone, the bells, the snare, the bass drum, just the typical band percussion instruments. I was first chair once. I'm just saying, y'all. And then because of that, our family got a drum set and I actually knew how to play drums and I was getting pretty good at it. But now since our house is a bit smaller and we're very near our neighbors, it's probably not smart to get a drum kit just because it'd be way too loud. I do love the drums and I kind of know how to play the drums. Of course, guitar. I know how to play guitar. I was also getting very good at that. I got more into MIDI and the piano, so I kind of stopped guitar for a little bit, but I do hope to get back to it. So yeah, those are the instruments that I personally know how to play. The next question is, when did you start singing? Love you. I love you too. I started singing, I honestly don't remember. At a very, very young age, I would sing. Not with the intent that I wanted to be a singer, but just because I liked singing. Maybe, I don't know, 5 years old, something like that. But then I did take singing lessons for a little bit when I was right before my piano lessons. Then I switched to piano for a while, for so many years. But it was only recently that I wanted to practice singing even more. Because honestly, guys, girl, if you heard my singing before, no, it was so bad. Objectively, not that great. And I'm not saying I'm a really good singer now, but in comparison, it was questionable. How do you do your makeup? Honestly, it changes all the time. Also, by the way, sorry, my nail polish is so ugly. They're chipped. But is it even me if my nail polish isn't chipped? No. So I start off with, honestly, I don't really like to wear foundation. I only wear it now because we're having a picture taking for Christmas. But I just use a concealer. It's the NARS Creamy Concealer. That's my go-to. That's my holy grail. It's usually just concealer that I use instead of foundation. I don't do much eyeshadow. Okay, I literally did eyeshadow today. But usually on a day-to-day basis, I don't wear eyeshadow. I just use a little bit of eyeliner and then mascara, eyebrows, blush, and lipstick. Though if I could only use one makeup for the day, it would be lipstick, just because my natural lips are a very light color and I kind of look sick if I don't wear lipstick. Yeah, super natural. I would create an in-depth makeup tutorial one day, I just know it. Or maybe you'll see me on Vogue Secrets. So there you have it. Those are all the questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you don't know who I am a singer. So you can check out my music on my channel, basically, or on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever they put out music. you can find me. I'm sure you can. Your FBI skills are so good. I'll go now. Love you.